Hello, welcome to our live stream. I'm here with Hudson. It is lovely to see you. Thank you so much, everybody who's already in the chat. I already see questions coming in. We're just going to do a general cruise Q&A today, if that works for you. I'm wearing my Alzheimer's Society t-shirt. I'm doing a charity hike for Alzheimer's Society next week. So I thought instead of sharing a discount to one of my own t-shirts, I would share this one. And if you can donate, I'm walking 57 kilometers in a day, so I would appreciate it. Lots of you already in the chat. Thank you so much. If you have any questions about cruising, cruise destinations, cruise lines, my life on YouTube, anything like that, I will do my best to answer as many as I can. If you can start the question with question, just like Sean says here, that'll make it much easier for me to pick out what is a question and what is everybody chatting. Yes, thank you so much, everybody. Okay, where do we begin? Where do we begin? Gosh, I don't know. If I look a bit like red in the cheeks, I just had to run in to get some snacks for Hudson because these aren't Dreamies. These are Sainsbury's version. But I thought you might want to see him on the live stream. Whoa! Don't be so violent with it, Hudson. There you go. Okay. Okie dokie doke. Right. Mark says, do your neighbors know what you do for a living? Yes, they do now. I never told anyone. It was back when I had a full-time job. My colleagues started finding it, and my neighbor found my YouTube channel by accident. And then at that point, yes. So I never told anyone, but yes, they do know now. Ashley says, what made you want to start a YouTube channel? I don't think much thought went into it. I don't think cruise YouTube was really such a big thing back then. It wasn't like I saw someone doing this and thought I want to do that. I started a website in 2016. There were certain things that are just easier to show rather than type, right? There's certain things like if I'm trying to describe a sail-in or if I'm trying to, Hudson, where are you going? Describe like the view from the lift. It's easier to do that with a video, right? So that's kind of why I started YouTube, just to share things. And of course, I mean, the reason I started YouTube and the website and everything a bit more general was because I didn't really realize how little my friends and other people knew about cruising, because I've been cruising since I was 11. I knew it was fun. It didn't cross my mind that it wouldn't be fun. But some of the conversations I had with some of my friends, I was like, you think what? So I started writing it down. That was my plan. Thank you, James, who's become a YouTube channel member. You have 140-something podcasts you can listen to now. You have access to our Discord chat, so I will see you on the inside. It means it's Friday. Yes, it is Friday. If you're watching this live, it is Friday. A lot of people do watch these on the catch-up, so if you're watching it on the catch-up, it is nice to see you. It looks, to me, this t-shirt looks like I'm going to go play football or something like that. I'm not. This is just my fundraising t-shirt. I think it's good. I think it is a good material, though. It has these yellow stripes on the side. Let the air in when you're hiking. So it sounds good. How much difference is there between an inside cabin and a balcony cabin? It could be, say there's a 7-night cruise. It could be anywhere between £100 extra to 17,000 pounds extra. It could be 10% more. It could be 100% more. It could be more than that. It depends on how many is left. Cruise, obviously, they're very, very clever with their pricing. If there's one balcony cabin left on a cruise, that is going to cost a lot of money because they know everyone wants it. So it depends how many balcony cabins they have. If you do a new cruise ship, they have a lot of balconies. But if you go back 20 years, they probably mostly have ocean views. So it depends. What is the pole thing in the top right? Is a light. It is a light. I have it sometimes in my, not actually in the background, but it lights up the background for my YouTube videos. Larry says, hello, Larry. He says, Cruise Hive said today, Celebrity is charging for chocolate chip cookies starting at $2.40 a piece. Is this true? What I imagine this is that they have a better cookie, like a premium cookie or something that they're going to charge $2 for. I can't see that they could start charging for the cookies in the cafe. They're not big or that great. It's just normal cookies, and they're the same ones that you'd get in the buffet. So I don't think you can start charging for a buffet chocolate chip cookie. It's weird, but We'll see. We will see. I mean, I'm not someone who I have paid for a cookie once, but I'm not someone who's about to stop paying for cookies on cruises. The only time I did pay for one, that was on Mirella, and that was worth it. It was like €2. It was huge. It was this big. It was in the specialty coffee place. It was worth it, but that's a very different sort of cookie. Any tips for teenagers on a cruise and them not staying in your cabin but still on a budget? Or stick the teenagers in an inside cabin. You know, whenever I cruise with my parents, sometimes they would upgrade to a balcony and me and my brother would be in an inside cabin. That's totally fine, because if I wanted to go out on the balcony, I'll just go to mum and dad's. That did work better than other times. Sometimes we would be like opposite on the same deck. Other times we would be miles apart, but doesn't bother me. Never bothered me. Cruise boys are in here and they're on board Celebrity Silhouette. It seems like most people are on board Celebrity Silhouette. There's a little weekend cruise going on. It seems like everybody is in there, which is very cool. I got my Captain Hudson last night. Yay. Yes. So Captain Hudson version 2 has been going all over the world. He's started to arrive and I have so many pictures to share with you. I'm going to put some up during this live stream. I think I'm going to do it at like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and 45 minutes. I think we're going to have some structure to this live stream. If I have them in here. Do I have them? Oh, I only have 2 of them. Where's the other one? I'm not going to start messing around with it now. We'll have to ration out the pictures. May shock you, but I've never eaten a cookie on a cruise. Oh, I love them. Love them very much. If you were going on a long cruise, say 3 or 4 weeks, are there different things you'd look out for compared to a week or so? Ooh, good question. I mean, for me personally, my dream would be to have a bath. The idea of not having a bath for 3 or 4 weeks and only having a shower, that's what would stop me from cruising for 3 or 4 weeks. So that would change. Normally you only get baths in suites though, or mini suites, so probably unlikely. But I would probably want a calmer, more sort of, as we say in the UK, homely, as in feels like home. Not a mean thing, as a good thing. Homely kind of cruise. I wouldn't necessarily want to be busy the whole time for 3 to 4 weeks. I think I'd get quite tired. But also you need something happening or you could get quite bored. But I would just view it as this is where I live now. Julie says, did you ever try the wristbands for motion sickness? Yes, so I've tried 2 different types. I have one that's just a little pressure thing. Not convinced it does anything, but it doesn't harm me to wear them, so I wear them if it's rough. I can't tell. And I did buy on board Norwegian Prima. I bought the expensive, it's like a watch, and it electrocutes you through your hand, and it goes down the middle, and it makes your whole finger go numb. Turns out I don't enjoy being electrocuted in the hand, so I haven't worn it very much. But if I was on a cruise and I was really feeling rough, I probably would try it again. But I guess it distracts you from being seasick because you're being electrocuted. So I don't know about that. I'm not convinced yet. Any heads up on what version 3 officially will look like? Yes, so I have submitted the initial idea. I'm just going to see if I can get the other picture up while I'm on a live. Okay, hopefully nothing weird will happen. Oh, Captain, there we go. Right, so look, this is what I have. It is loading. So this is the first collection, okay? I wish I could keep me as like a little floating head, but I don't think that works. So let's move the comment out of the way, budget out of the way, as we would say in the UK. And then this is the first selection of what Captain Hudson's been up to. So we have the picture there from Matt, who took Hudson on a helicopter. Emma took him on a frog. Jens has been making cookies. Donald's one down there, that one fainted when obviously faced with a Labrador, fair enough. Dawn's seems to like those dogs a bit more. And Andy's been on a railway. So he has been a very, very busy cat this week. And that is just a few that I have. Yeah, Holly says, got some of the seasickness patches from Amazon and they work wonders. I'm not sure because, I mean, I'm sure they work wonders for you, but I'm not sure that it's for me because I cruise an awful lot. I get seasick very rarely. And I don't want to do something just in case. I would always have to have these on. Like I cruise a lot and I've heard a lot about the side effects, some horrible things. I did ask on Twitter, some people messaged me some horrible side effects. So for me, I think I'm okay. Like the medicine I normally use Quells. It works fine. So I don't think I need a alternative, but if it works for you, fantastic. I don't think that is one for me. Yeah. Is there a quiet place on a Norwegian cruise ship? Booked it by mistake. Usually go with Fred Olsen or Ambassador. If you have booked a Norwegian cruise ship like Norwegian Sun, Norwegian Sky, one of those smaller ones, that's very, very different from if you booked Prima or Viva or one of the newer busy ships. So I needed to know really what ship you're on. But even if you have booked a newer ship and a big ship, there are quiet places. That's no problem. On Prima, they had this nice sort of, they don't call it the crow's nest, but you know what I mean, like a crow's nest observation lounge, and that was always pretty quiet. Does phone signal fail as soon as boarding, or can I still get signal for a bit after sailing from Southampton before it goes to Maritime Network? So you can. I would say if you're nervous about it, just put your phone in airplane mode as soon as you sail away. Don't mess with it. If you're feeling more advanced and you're okay to sort of play with your phone settings, you can change it so that it'll notify you before it changes network. I would recommend that. And you can make it so that it only goes on certain networks. So if you're on, 3 and you say, I only want it to be on 3, do not change, then it won't charge you, because it is literally, you won't even notice that you've gone to Maritime. You've got one email, it's £45. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. So yes, you can. Quite often, if I'm cruising, where was I cruising recently? We had a lot of 4G, even places in the Mediterranean. But if you're cruising places like Norway, you're normally quite close. When I was cruising in Greece, we were quite close to Greece quite a lot. So I would sneak on the 4G whenever I could. But I'd say it's an advanced technique. What is the most boring cruise you've ever taken? I can hear my mum saying only boring people are bored. I don't think I've ever been bored on a cruise. Maybe the only time I was bored was when I was seasick, going back to seasick, because then I can't do anything. But I don't think I really get bored. It's different for me now though, because this is my work. I have plenty of work I can do. That's not a problem. What is the roughest seas you've cruised in? And generally, what is the roughest seas to cruise in? That's a huge question about generally. I don't think I'm qualified to answer that, because it depends on the time of year. It depends on so many different things. So for me, the roughest that I've had was I took an Arctic Circle cruise in March on an old cruise ship. It was rough because, yes, no such thing as a boring cruise. Yeah, cruise boys typing only boring people aboard. I'm sure, if you were on a cruise on I don't know, an older ship, a smaller ship, and you had 17 sea days, then I could probably get bored. But, I don't tend to book itineraries with more than 1 or 2 sea days at a time. And yeah, I don't get bored really in my life generally. So I know some people need to if you need to be constantly entertained, take a cruise on Symphony of the Seas. There's not a second to think about if you're bored. Weekly request for Girls Allowed to be a Britishism. Girls Allowed the band? Let's see how that's a Britishism. Are there size differences between inside cabins and balcony cabins? Yes, there are. If you do want to know the specifics, I have a post on my website that has the average insides, ocean views, balconies, how much percentage bigger one is than the other. I can't remember off the top of my head, but normally inside cabins are the smallest. Ocean views will sometimes be the same size as insides or sometimes be the same size as balconies, but balconies are bigger than insides. Normally just like an extra 20% or something would be my guess. I can't remember. Thank you, Mike, for my super chat. He says, awesome Friday lunch with Emma Cruz. It's Friday lunch, Friday dinner time here in the UK. But I know people watch these from all over the world, which is cool. Do you like karaoke on a cruise ship? I like to go and watch karaoke. I've never sung in a karaoke, and I probably never will. Shannon says, love your new setup. Thank you very much. It's mostly the old setup. A new chair. I have a new chair. But yeah, it's in a slightly different... I noticed now I have a different tripod for my phone because I had this really big one and I didn't want it to take up so much space. And you're slightly like, whoop, there you see. This is flat. But hopefully you're okay. Is Enchanted Princess or Norwegian Breakaway better for a couple in their 20s? My girlfriend and I enjoy relaxing with some thrills. Oh my gosh, that's a tricky question, because if you stopped it at my girlfriend and I enjoy relaxing, Enchanted Princess. If you keep it as my girlfriend and I enjoy some thrills, Norwegian Breakaway. So depends how busy you want to be. Princess is very sort of very, very, I don't know. It's like, more traditional, I would say. Norwegian, there's no dress codes, there's no formal nights. Princess, both very good, both some of my favorite cruise lines. But that's a tricky question. If that's a trick question, hit that like button. Yes, if you could, that would be absolutely amazing. I would really appreciate it. Kevin says, is an inside cabin okay for someone who gets motion sick? So you are looking at somebody who is a motion sick person. I cannot go backwards on a train. Well, I can for a little bit, not long. I can't in cars. Oh my gosh, backwards in a car, that wouldn't work. But I can't really go in cars for that long. I'm quite motion sick. I'm quite travel sick generally. But I don't go on a cruise assuming I'm going to get seasick. It's only if there's bad weather or a storm or something like that. And I mean, if you are going to get seasick, it's nicer to have a balcony where you can go outside and get fresh air. I get it. But it's nicer to be on a cruise than not be on a cruise, right? And if inside cabins are in your budget, do the inside cabin. I now still book inside cabins all the time. If they say, oh, we're going to hit a storm, it's going to be rough weather, I'll take the seasickness pills, I'll put on the wristband. I started taking some of those ginger capsule things. I'm doing everything, so I'm fine. So for me, the price is more important than motion sickness, normally. Graham says, have you tried eating bananas for seasickness? Doesn't really help, but it doesn't taste too bad. Oh, if it comes up, it doesn't taste so bad. I normally eat bananas quite a lot on cruises anyway, but depends on the cruise. This is one way I described the last cruise I was on. So I was on a yacht, which is something that I don't normally do, but on the yacht, if you wanted a banana, you can have the freshest banana any time of the day, totally fine. On most cruises, they'll pick them up at the beginning, maybe pick them up at the end. If you want a banana, you have to find the good one from the fruit bowl, right? So that's kind of the difference. Yeah. Peter says, as you become more known to cruise lines, are you concerned that your experience will be different from one of the average cruiser? I think people overestimate this because it makes no difference to my cruise apart from, say, my celebrity cruise. 2 of the waiters took a picture with me. That's the only thing that made any difference. I don't tell the cruise lines in advance because I don't want to, as much as I would like to be upgraded, but I don't want to get anything special. So if I do have problems, I don't share about it when I'm on the cruise because they will fix it because they see it on Facebook or something and someone will share it with them. So if I'll see what the cruise is really like and then come back and I'd say, oh, I had a problem with this. Very rare that happens. Very, very rare. But yeah, I try and keep it on the down low as much as possible. I don't think it affects my daily life, other than people taking pictures of me and saying hi, which is really good. But yeah, I think people overestimate how the cruise is so busy. Everyone else has got their own things to do. No one really cares that I'm there. On my last cruise, they were filming an Australian TV show on there. There's other things going on. So David says, thanks for the Alzheimer's shirt. Terrible disease. Yes, absolutely. So this is my choice for fundraising. I'm doing an ultra challenge. If anyone knows what the ultra challenge is. Do you make your cruise companion wear a I'm with Emma Cruz's t-shirt, says Jamie? Well, that would go the opposite way from what I said a minute ago about trying to hide and trying to stay low. Richard says, what are your thoughts on upcharges on previously free food items? I think if everyone is saying, I don't want the price of a cruise to go up, the cruise line has to do something, right? So if they're going to start charging for some stuff, I don't really blame them, to be honest. Everything in the world is getting more and more expensive at the minute. Travel with Dave and Bill say, we loved Iona and Azura. Would you recommend Britannia? It's basically in between the two. Yes, exactly. It is basically in between the two. If you like those two, you've already liked the two ends of the scale. It's in the middle. Yeah. I would bet very good money. Very good money. Isn't it better to raise an issue there rather than leave it? Yeah, that's what I mean. So say I had a problem with dining, I would raise it the normal way on the ship with the dining people. I wouldn't go on Facebook and be like, oh, they didn't do that, because then that gets back to them and they fix it. But then I have no idea what would have happened if I didn't do that, if that makes sense. So yeah, I wouldn't share on the internet. I would fix stuff myself. It does really annoy me when people come back from a cruise or they share when they're on a cruise that they've had a problem and you say, well, did you, I had this terrible problem with my cabin. Did you tell your cabin steward? No. Well, what are they supposed to do? Yeah. So Jeff says, how are the onion ring shirts coming along? I haven't made an onion ring shirt yet. I think possibly the coolest t-shirt ever because it makes me laugh. But I have ordered mine, so when it comes, I'll wear it in the live stream. And I thought about this myself. If I cruise with someone, or if people cruise as a group or in twos, normally there's one person who does everything, right? So I've made a Cruise Pro t-shirt that says Cruise Pro, and it has a checklist, and it's like booked the cruise, organized the itinerary, packed everything, managed everyone, and it has all the ticks on it. So if you're the Cruise Pro, that's the t-shirt you wear. And then if you're with someone, or maybe you know like a couple and you wanted to buy them a funny present, the other one says going with the flow, and it has the same checklist, and it's just crossed out, and it says I have no idea. And I think that's so true. So that is on my Emma Cruz's shop. That is Emma Cruz's shop. But I'll show you that one properly soon. It just made me laugh. Thank you, Andrew, for my super chat. Much appreciated. And thank you, Kevin, for sharing my, my free course. So if you want to know the cruise basics, if you want to know everything that's in my head, but with no sort of, there's no fluff around it. It is literally just, these are emails with everything that I know and everything I think you should know, then join my free course. I think there's 13 emails in there. They come every few days. It goes through finding a cruise, the cabins, everything I've answered in this live stream pretty much. I think I answer in this course, but yeah, it's just all together. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, Cruz would say, if you sailed on Sky Princess, it's basically Britannia. Yes. Yeah, Britannia does have tiny balconies. That is true. That is true. Have you ever complained at guest services about something but found it wasn't able to be resolved? Probably the closest I've had. Well, I guess they kind of did fix it. When I was on Azamara, I had one of the only inside cabins because Azamara are a luxury cruise line. They don't normally have inside cabins, but I think they had like 16 inside cabins. And me and my brother were sharing that room. We came back to the room and it sounded like if you're in a balcony and you leave the door a little bit open and it has that whistle from the balcony out, like the whistling of air, that's what it sounded like in our room all the time. But we had no balcony, so it wasn't the air. We found out it was the air conditioning, but we had to go to guest services. They sort of fixed it. It broke again. They fixed it again when we left. And fingers crossed it was fixed forever, but it did the same thing again. But these two guys came around. They fixed the air conditioning. It was pretty good. Do you ever wish you didn't limit your brand to cruises? No, definitely not. Sometimes I think I should go the other way and limit it more because there's so much in cruising, river cruising, ocean cruising, yacht cruising. You know, if you even just look at river cruising, like US river cruises, European, Asia, there's so much within cruising and it changes so fast. Even if you just wanted to go on every new cruise ship that launched, you could not. I could not keep up with it. So yeah, there's so much. Keith says, I love that you laugh at your own jokes. I don't know if I wouldn't, if I wasn't live, would I? I don't know. I think it's like encouraging other people to laugh, but there's no one here. And I didn't realize I was really making any jokes. So sometimes people say, oh, that's such a funny phrase that you made up. I didn't make that up. That's a common phrase. Oh, what about a I'm Not Emma Cruz's t-shirt? Genius. There's a couple of other YouTubers and I get comments saying, oh, you must be this person. And they get comments saying, oh, it must be Emma. So that could work for that way. What is your worst interaction with another passenger? I don't think I have one. I've seen some being very rude to staff. I think that's what annoys me the most. Been getting the master course emails. Very informative. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It took me months and months and months and months to put that together. So I'm glad. There is an audio version if you don't want to do the reading. Linked in all of the emails is the audio version. But the free one, it's in the emails. It is in the emails. Have you ever lost a phone on a cruise and never had it returned? No, I did once a long time ago. Talking about Britannia. I went on a cruise on Britannia and I took my laptop with me. This was very early in my cruise career. So I was like, right, I'm going to work on here, take my laptop. And I put it in my bag in the scanner. And for some reason, they don't normally do this, but they took my laptop out and put it in a separate tray because you know how they normally do in airports? They don't normally do that in cruise ships. I didn't think anything of it. I picked up my bag, got to my cabin, realized it wasn't there. There's nothing you can do, really. I couldn't get back off. I couldn't get back out and it couldn't get in by the time we realized. So it sat there for a week. And then when I came back, They brought it on the ship and I was able to collect it from reception. But thankfully they found it. Thankfully. Norwegian Cruise Line in the chat. Hello, Norwegian Cruise Line. It is so funny to me and it really makes me happy when I get comments on my actual videos from cruise lines and also from YouTube. I had a comment from YouTube the other day that said Emma and Hudson are adorable. Crazy. Crazy cool. Lou says we are under watch. We're not under watch. Do not worry. Do not worry. NCM's in the house. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Yeah, John says, can't overstate how aghast I am at celebrities. Upcharge for cookies. Maybe I'll switch to NCL. If Norwegian Cruise Line's still in the chat, then John's going to move over to you. Yeah, I can't wait to see your Emerald Azura, hopefully soon. Yes, 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 yes. So I am actually going to make 3 videos about this cruise. That's more than I normally do, but I want to, so I'm going to. The first one's going to be about the cabin. You know, I stayed in a suite. All the cabins are suites, of course, on a yacht. I stayed in a suite on a yacht. One about the proper cruise, the story. You know, how does it work? How does dining work? How does tendering work? All of that good stuff. And then I'm going to do one about, we went through a very, very tight canal with like a meter spared on each side. And it was just amazing. I've never seen anything like it. So I'm going to share a video about that one. Oh, yeah. Holly says, got my eye on NCL for Beetlejuice. Yes. See, my favorite musical ever is Back to the Future, the musical. And I got to see it again recently. And if I could, I would, you know, you could like buy a bench. I'm going to buy a chair. And I'll go see that every single week because it is amazing. It is amazing. I was also very brave this week and I went to a theme park and I went on roller coasters. And that's not something I normally do, but I was with my nieces. And when a 5-year-old is not scared of a roller coaster, I feel like I have to not be scared too and go on it. And it was fine. It was okay. I was fine with the roller coasters that went forwards. I was fine with the roller coasters that went backwards. I was fine with the roller coasters that went upside down. But what I didn't like is the roller coasters that went upside down backwards and very, very slowly. I feel like my internal organs don't like being tipped upside down. It's too weird. Yeah, Beetlejuice is great. I have never seen it. I've never seen it. Never, 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 never. Never, never, never. Some interesting questions in the chat. Interesting questions. Have you plans to visit the Norwegian fjords? Yes, it is my favorite. Well, I don't have any booked right now, but I can say yes because I'm absolutely going to go back to the Norwegian fjords. I have done 3 Norwegian fjord cruises. I did one with P&O, which was very nice, me and my mum. I did one with Viking. I suppose, actually, technically, I've done 4 because I did an Arctic Circle cruise. That felt different from the fjords, the Arctic Circle. And also, I did one on Anthem of the Seas with Royal Caribbean, which was very, very good. Yeah, Nancy. Hello, Nancy. She says, the drops on coasters make me afraid. Yeah, I just think about how many humans there have been. And for all of my ancestors, being upside down is a cause for concern. Your body doesn't like it, right? And then I'm just here like, yeah, it's fine. If you like Back to the Future, you will love Beetlejuice. Okay, I see. I will give it a go. Where is Back to the Future? It is in London. Michelle says you need to get invited on Vista. Ooh, we'll see. Bruce, thank you so much for my super chat. Going on Royal Caribbean next weekend for the first. Ooh, very, very cool. Did you get the chance to see the Northern Lights on your Arctic Circle cruise? Yes, I did. We had 2 nights of the Northern Lights. We were very, very lucky. Very lucky. I think it's better to try and see the Northern Lights on a cruise because you are moving. So if there's clouds, at some point you're going to be out from the clouds. Is the way I see it. It's probably not true at all, but yes, it was very, very good. It was the roughest weather I've ever had. It was worth it to see the Northern Lights, though. Yes, Broadway. Yeah, Back to the Future has just started in Broadway as well, London and Broadway. It is so expensive in Broadway. I thought the West End was expensive, but nope. Nope. Jim says, now you've sailed on a yacht, would you consider a sailing yacht? I think that is a step too far for my seasickness. But never say never. I would just have to, maybe then I would need the seasickness patch. I don't know. Yes. If you can start your question with question, thank you so much. So Emma can see it. Yes. Have you sailed with Windstar? I have not. I would like to. I saw one of them when I was on my last trip, but I have not. Yes. How did you like the shows on Symphony? Oh my goodness. The shows on Symphony, incredible. So I think I was entertained every single second of the day on that cruise. I did a 7-day cruise, and it was really, really tricky to get everything done that I wanted to do and to show everything for my video. So they have diving shows, they have ice skating shows, they have shows in the theater, and even, they're like, I don't know. The one they talk about is Hairspray, which was amazing. It's like an hour and a half, the same as Broadway for sure. And even the ones that aren't at the normal ones, absolutely amazing. My goodness, so cool. Yes, please. Question. Good question. It's not a silly one. There's no silly questions. I mean, there are some silly questions. You should see some of the silly questions I get. But this is not a silly question. A silly question is like someone who wanted a refund on their cruise because the smell of the perfume shop got on their clothes and then in their room. Like, that is silly. But anyway, I understand most cruises offer drinks packages. I only ever drink plain still water. Do I need a drinks package for that too, or is water always free? If you are cruising on any cruise line that is not Costa Cruises, then water is free in the main dining room. It's free in the buffet. It's free in the taps in your cabin. And if you just get tap water, free. If you're on Costa, you'd have to buy what is called a water package, I would suggest. But it's probably unlikely that out of all the cruise lines, the one you're going on is Costa. Yeah. If you're someone who, wants bottled water, you normally have to pay for that. But yeah. Rich says there definitely are silly questions. Sometimes. Right. I think it's time to see. It is. Look, we're halfway through, so I'm on schedule. But I'm going to show you the second selection of what Captain Hudson's been up to. So Captain Hudson has been arriving, version 2. I don't think he's been on any cruises yet. Maybe he has. But here are a few of my favorite pictures that I have had. So this is the one. Oh, wait. We've still only got 2 here. I think I named them the wrong things. But here you go. Here's another one. So let me move the comment. We have got this picture from Donna. That's not Donna. That's Donna's daughter. But she made a Captain Hudson t-shirt, which I think is really, really amazing. We have one there from Rich. Rich, I see you in the chat. I think that is very cute. That Captain Hudson in the middle, Rich has dressed him, decorated him, whatever you want to say. Some people in the comments were like, is that Hudson 1.5? I want him. Rose took him to Sydney. Amazing. Mike took him paddle boarding. This is Stevens of Hudson version 2 arriving, and that's Hudson version 1 there. Very cute. And Carlos, I think that was, I can't remember where that is, but I think it's Disney World. Is it Disney World? I'm sure some of you know more about Disney. I've never been to Disney World, but I'm guessing from the background that it might be Disney World. So let me know. Do you suggest to go on MSC Seaview in Europe? Well, for some people, yes. For some people, no. So I've taken a cruise on the MSC Seaview. I have cruised with MSC, I think, 5 times. I think they're very good at what they do, but some people love them, some people hate them. So if you have cruised with any other cruise lines, I have guides on my website comparing like Royal Caribbean and MSC, Costa and MSC. I think that'll be quite helpful, but it depends what cruise you want. It could be the best cruise you've ever taken, or it could be your worst nightmare, depending on who you are. So I need to know more. If you do want to know more just about all the different cruise lines, if you do download that free course that I have, the first thing is a big chart with all the cruise lines. They're all compared on price, on formality, everything like that. The mainstream cruise lines. Do you prefer to cruise from the UK or fly to an embarkation port? I change my mind on this all the time. So in 2021, when cruising resumed, all we could do was cruise from the UK. So I went around Britain like 5 times. It was great. But at the end of that, I was like, I really want to fly somewhere, right? And I took my first fly cruise. Then, to now, I have flown a lot recently, and it's school holidays. It's very busy. Every flight is delayed. It's hot. It's miserable. I've spent so many days in airports. I don't even know how many days. And I'm thinking, I really want to just cruise from a local port. So I think it depends what I've done. Yeah, my mum's in here. She said, we did Seaview in the Med. It was great, but a very big ship. Yes, very big ship. Very big ship. Have you taken or will you take an American river cruise like the one for the Mississippi River Cruise? I have never done that. I would love to do that. Let me know if that's something that you're interested in. Emma, are you forgetting things? I don't know. I wouldn't know if I forgot things. Is there a ship that you haven't done yet that is on your list? Oh my goodness, so many. My list is so long, so long. If you do have a question and I have not answered it for quite a long time, there may be a reason, like I don't want to answer it. So, yes. Julie says, question, what is the Alzheimer's shirt? Are you doing a fundraiser? I am, yes. So if you see in the pinned comment and also the description, there is my link to my fundraiser. I'm doing what's called an ultra challenge, and I'm doing a 57-kilometer walk. So that's 57 kilometers is a long way, but it's over the hills and it's far away. So it's going to be very hard. If you can donate, I would really appreciate it. Nancy says, do med cruises feel different to a Caribbean cruise? Yes, so much. Completely different. So different. Very different. Royal Caribbean's fan says, my favorite class is the Oasis class. What is yours? How did you find your Symphony cruise? I loved it. If you want to see my full video, all of my Symphony content is now live on my channel. So check that out. I really liked it. It was very, very, like, it could have been anywhere. It could have gone nowhere, and I would have still enjoyed that cruise. I think it was very, like, I have cruised also on Independence, and I've cruised on Anthem. To me, those ships felt like more about the destination for me, where Oasis was just so much fun. It was just constant fun, constant fun. Now we're hearing of embarkation and debarkation fees. I did see this earlier. It's not, I think people are just sort of joking because Celebrity are planning to charge for cookies, or apparently they will. Royal Caribbean asked about charging for pizza. So people are asking, what would be a ridiculous charge? Like, can you imagine if you went on a cruise and you had to pay every time you used a towel, like by the pool, or every time you went to the toilet? Which does remind me of a cruise, actually. There used to be a cruise line called Easy Cruise. I don't know if you know it. If you're in Europe, you'll know of EasyJet and the Easy brand. It was like that. It was exactly that. It was the same brand, and it was very much a bare bones cruise. And you didn't get food. You didn't get housekeeping. You could pay for housekeeping. So it's kind of like that. Over the hills and far away. Yeah, it just rhymes nicely. I didn't mean to quote Led Zeppelin. Just thought it rhymed. Is there a party-ish river cruise for younger people? Ooh, tricky. River cruises do tend to have, I think, an older passenger demographic than ocean cruises. Oh, Hudson's treats blew away. I have my fan on. I think I would look at maybe the British cruise line TUI, if you had a look at maybe a Rosa, cruise lines like that. Have you been on Cunard? Yes. So it was a Cunard cruise where I first started my website, because I had cruised before. I'd only cruised with Norwegian and MSC. And I sat on that Cunard cruise and I was like, what? What is this? I did not know that this is what this would be like. And I sort of had the realization that some people thought that's what cruising was. Because it's very formal. It's very traditional. It's like dancing in the ballroom and having afternoon tea, which is great. I really enjoyed it, but I was not prepared for it after cruising with Norwegian and MSC. So that was a cruise on Queen Victoria, and I've also been on Queen Mary 2. I would love to do the proper transatlantic on Queen Mary 2, and Queen Anne looks very interesting, the new ship that's coming out soon. How much baggage can you take on Iona? So I don't think that there is a limit on how many bags you can take. Every bag, I think, has to be under a weight limit just because people are going to be carrying it. So, yeah, I think that's it. Last time I checked, that was it. David says, in your opinion, is it worth paying for a Disney cruise? It depends who you are and how much Disney is worth to you. Does Disney add to your cruise experience, or does Disney take away from your cruise experience? I met so many people on my Disney cruise, lived and breathed Disney cruising, loved it. For them, absolutely worth it. But for other people, absolutely not worth it. It's the same as any cruise line, though, I think. Do you pack light and have a checklist? Yeah, I suppose so. I pack very light, I think. And often I look at other people with 2 suitcases or 3 suitcases, and I'm like, what is in there? I really don't understand. Normally I'll pack, you know, like, I'll wear a pair of trainers going, like comfortable walking shoes. I'll pack a pair of sandals, maybe a pair of heels or wedges, and that's it. 3 pairs of shoes, that's fine. Because I'll just pack like colors that go with multiple things. I don't know. I don't know if other people have sort of like red shoes for the red dress. I don't know. But I just pack. I think people make a mistake of thinking, oh, I haven't worn that in 7 years. Maybe now is the time. Probably it's not. Probably the zip is broken, or it rides up when you walk, or there's some reason why I haven't worn it. So mostly when I pack, it is my clothes that I wear in my regular life. Of course, you know, normally the weather's different, so it might be summer clothes instead of winter clothes. But yeah, I don't bring some things people bring. Blows my mind. Any plans to sail out of Asia or North America? Yes. I have a cruise booked to Asia, which is where I had some vaccines. I think I've just about lost my bruise. Oh, it's still there. There's my bruise from last week's vaccines. I don't have any cruises booked at the minute from North America, but I feel like I've been there quite a lot in the last couple of years. So looking forward to trying something a bit different, which is very, very cool. Thank you for my super chat, by the way. Appreciate it. Would a cruise on Britannia be good for seniors? Says Bob. Yeah, I think so. Depends on you, of course. I think depends how senior. 67 is not that senior. Like when I think of, I don't know, if you're someone like my gran who's 94, I don't think she liked Britannia. My mom's in the chat because it was too big for her. But I think at 67, as long as you can walk around the ship, it's not a small ship. It's good fun, I think. Yeah, Rich says Pizzagate was crazy. Yes. Oh, I know. People were outraged. Yeah, there we go. My mum's in the chat answering the questions. She says, Britannia is a lovely ship. We took Emma's gran, who was in her 90s. She had an accessible cabin. Only complaint was that we had to wait for lifts and elevators. Ah, I see. Adam says, is Norwegian Viva in your future? It is not in my future at the moment. I would like it to be in my future, but I don't have any booked on it right now. 96 now. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Time flies. Time flies. She's stuck at 94 in my mind. I don't think she'll mind. Did you like Celestial, and do you think their new ship will be good? Yes. So I took a cruise with Celestial. They're a Greek cruise line, and I cruised on a ship that was owned by Royal Caribbean, built in the late 1980s. Yeah, 1980s. And it was really interesting for me to cruise on a cruise ship like that because there were so many things that I recognized from Royal Caribbean, and I was like, I've seen this before, but it's different. And everything was a bit higgledy-piggledy, as we would say in Britain, a bit higgledy-piggledy. But it was so much fun. We had 2 ports every single day on that cruise. So we would literally be like, you're in port 8 a.m. till 12. And then we leave, and then we're in the next port 2 p.m. till 8 p.m. Like that. So it was so much fun. We saw so much. It was exhausting. My mum says go on Viva. There's so many cruises to do. Eddie says, what is your opinion on Sky Princess? I had a great cruise on Sky Princess. If you check out the video on my channel about it, I will explain in more detail. Royal Caribbean fan says, I'm from the UK and you make me realize how good our language is. We do have some quirky things in our language, yes. I do think it's funny whenever I sort of do a bit of research for a Britishism and say we have a word, even like football and soccer, you think, why did America change it? America barely ever changed it. It was always us that changed it. What did Emma just say? Was that English? Mostly English. Mostly. Yeah, I try my best. How was the entertainment on Virgin? Good. Very sporadic. I think that's the word. Sporadic. Random. Spontaneous. It's not like a cruise line where it's like, oh, I'm going to go to dinner, go to the theater, karaoke. It's not like that. Things just happen. So, yeah. Have you tried dipping onion rings in honey? No, I have not. But that would be cool. I would enjoy, I think. I have never done a transatlantic cruise, so I would do it for the first time. Yes, do it for the first time, for sure. I want to do it properly, though. I want to do it Queen Mary too, I think. I'm going to try and find the third picture that I have, because I don't see it. Where is it? There we go. Okay, cool. So these are the next set of Captain Hudson's adventures for the week. I am working at the moment on a map that will show where Hudson's been, and it will have, new this new this week, new this month, it'll have a leaderboard so everyone can vote on their favorite ones. And then in this live stream, I can just show like these are the top funny things that Hudson's been up to this week. I think it'll be cool because I love it. I love just like Facebook has been hit and miss for me. I have a lot of problems with Facebook lately, but just going in the group and just seeing all these nice pictures, it's been really good. So here we have one from Catherine. Those ones are on a cruise, I think, or maybe not. It's trivia anyway. He's somewhere. James's one is in London, I think. I always recognize James's Hudson because he doesn't have the little scarf thing. We have one there from David. He's having a milkshake, of course. From Kevin, he's on the bridge because he is the captain. From Anne-Marie, he's enjoying a cookie and ice cream. And then Richard is there wearing the I'm with Captain Hudson t-shirts, which I think looks fantastic. Looks so good. Yeah, love it. Love it. Makes me very happy every single day. Is Valencia okay to explore with no excursions? Yes, Valencia, very, very easy to explore. You can wander around anywhere. You could search, top 5 things to see in Valencia, and you could walk to all of them. No problem. No problem. I want a cheap cruise in the Mediterranean. Which ship should I take? If price is the only thing you care about, look at an MSC cruise or a Costa cruise. The Italian cruise lines, they're very bright, they're very colorful, they're very fun. They're not for everyone, but have a look at those. Hudson has so many adventures. Yes, yeah, Hudson did go to Alcatraz. I'll have to find that picture. That was Noah who took him there, so thanks, Noah. Have you ever won trivia night? I've been on winning teams, but I don't think I can say that I've personally won it. Yes. I was expecting to see Hudson in the supermarket nestled amongst the dreamies. Yeah. Gary says, are you aware that ketchup is not a basic food group? I think it is. If you have a look at what I consume and you do a pie chart and you see where does Emma's calories come from and then top quarter is ketchup. Yeah. Rich says, don't let negative people affect your positive attitude. Haters gonna hate. Where are the haters? I don't see any. I think we have a nice group here on the live streams. I had a message earlier from someone who is a YouTuber who asked me, why do I do these live streams? What sort of is the benefit of them? And the way I sort of think of this live stream is, I don't know, we know each other now, right? It feels like a little group that comes together every Friday. The way I see it is I'm here for an hour. If you wish to come in, that's cool. Everyone knows everybody else. And it's just like a safe, calm place. Occasionally we talk about cruise lines who are charging for cookies or something, but I try and keep this quite positive, right? Because why would I want to do anything else, I think? Ketchup is a smoothie, so it's healthy. Yes. If you rebranded it, then yes. Greg says, love the vlogs. Thank you very much, Greg. It is a fun community. Yes, it is good. I think it's because I have no tolerance to people being mean, not just to me. Obviously, people are going to be mean to me on the internet, but I have no tolerance to people being mean to other people. Or occasionally people will come in and they'll try and say something mean about the crew or something. Or they'll say, travel agents don't work that hard. And I'm like, block you right now, because if you're going to be mean to anybody, you don't have a place here. You can't explain to some people. If people don't want to understand something, don't waste your time explaining it to them. That is one thing I've learned from YouTube for the last six years or something like that. Andy says, just discovered your channel in the past. What advice would you have for a solo traveler planning their first cruise? If you are solo cruising, I think you need to be more prepared, more sort of organized than other. If you're cruising as a 2, just because to get a good deal is a bit more tricky. A lot of cruise lines do have solo cabins. Some cruise lines don't. And some cruise lines will charge you double, basically, if you're in a normal room and there's only one of you. So the further in advance that you can sort of plan, or last minute. If you're up for last minute cruises, there's some really good last minute deals. But I have a lot more information about solo cruising. If you do download emmacruises.com/free course, one of the emails that you'll get is all about solo cruising. And it's all about, like how dining works, what the events are, which cruise lines are the best, everything I know there. Because I can't fit it in the next 10 minutes. Although I suppose I did, because I did a audio version of this course too, which isn't just me reading, I promise. It's just me telling stories about the things that are in there and talking a bit more about it. Thank you, Kevin, for sharing my link to book a cruise. Yes, you can book a cruise through my website. Have you gained a thick skin to deal with some of the comments? I suppose so. I think I've had every insult that you could possibly imagine so many times that now I see it and I just think, if you're someone who, it's like, say I get a comment when I get off this live stream. If you're someone whose Friday evening is spent being mean to people on the internet who are giving free advice about cruise ships, it says more about them than me, right? That's how I try and see it. So I just try and ignore, block, hide. This is my corner of the internet. I'm going to protect it as much as I can. If you were given £1 million. Oh, I've lost it. Why would I get £1 million to spend either on Pepsi or Dreamies for Hudson? Which would you choose? I mean, Dreamies are not very expensive. Can I keep buying him? Can I get myself the Pepsi and then keep buying him snacks, right? Yeah, I'll probably do that because there's no way he's going to eat £1 million worth of Dreamies in his life. Royal Caribbean fan says, I go to McDonald's after this live stream on a Friday. Nice. I like it. Yes. Lou says, we have no tolerance for mean folks here. Yes. No tolerance for mean folks. Yes, I think so. Jimmy says, anyone still upset with Princess charging for Alfredos? Can we get a message to the leadership team? I think the leadership team know. I think all they have to do is Google it and they'll see everyone not happy about it. Tim says, love your channel. Can't cruise much, but I cruise through your channel. Thank you for taking us along. You're very welcome. The way I sort of imagine, obviously it's hard when I make a video because I can't see you. Spoiler alert, but I can't see you. But I have to, basically every time I go on a cruise, I meet people and then I put them in my brain and then that becomes the audience that I'm making a video for, if that makes sense. So when I picture who's going to watch it, it is everyone that I've met from all different cruises, all different places in the world. That's how I think about it. Would you tell us a little about your shirt? It matches the background well. Yeah, so this is the shirt I'm going to be wearing next Saturday. Not this Saturday, next Saturday. I'm walking, if you are from the UK, I'll say where it is because it might make sense. But I'm walking basically from Eastbourne to Hove via Brighton. And it's 57 kilometers I'm walking in a day. It is up and over the hills. I think 57 flat will be maybe all right, but it's over the hills. I'm hoping it's not going to be too hot. I'm hoping it's not going to be muddy or rainy, because it's going to take, my estimate is like 16 hours of walking. And I'm doing it to raise money for Alzheimer's Society. So the link is in the comments and the description. If you could donate, I would really, really appreciate it. It's a fantastic charity. And I think 2,000 people are doing this walk. Some people are running it. I'm doing the 57 kilometers, which is only the first half. People are doing 100K. Some people are running 100K and their goal is 10 hours. Imagine running for 10 hours. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Where can I get a cruising Hudson? So Hudson isn't available to buy at the minute. The way it works is we sort of open the sales window. Then he's custom made. So every single one that comes is slightly different, which is cool. But he's only available to buy for a few weeks. I do have a wait list on my website. If you go on emmacruises.com and press Get Captain Hudson, you can join the wait list. And then when the next one's ready, I'll send you an email. But it is quite funny to see all of them arrive, and they're all slightly different. Some of them look more worried. Some of them look happier. One was missing a cookie from his pocket. I don't even know how you do that. Quite funny. Do you have a shirt discount today? No. So what I normally do is every Friday I wear one of my own T-shirts and I do a discount for the next 24 hours. But I wanted to raise money this week for Alzheimer's Society instead of my own T-shirts. So yeah, we'll be back to normal next week. I have a really good T-shirt for next week. Really good T-shirt for next week. It is one that Paul from Paul and Carol was modeling. I don't know if you've seen it, but he got a T-shirt for his birthday, and it's one of mine that I designed, and it says, I wanted a cruise for my birthday, and I just got this T-shirt. And it looked really good on him. I think he was a good model. I might put that on the website. Yeah, love the subtle differences. Me too. So cute. So cute. Greg says, why do you move the ring to your other hand? I'm such a fidget, that's why. Because I keep playing with this and this is noisy. But I'm a real fidget. I really just fidget with stuff all the time. Normally hair clips, my hair, something. I'm a fidget. And I'm never going to change. And I don't really want to change. So it's good. What is your favorite cabin and what is your favorite cruise line? I can't pick a favorite cruise line because there's so many variables that go into it. Where am I going? Who am I going with? There's so many questions, right? I have a favorite cruise line. There's loads that I like. I've never been on a cruise where I thought I won't go back to that cruise line. It depends on my budget. Do I have £1,000 a night? That'd be very different from my normal budget of like £100 a night. So yeah, I don't really have a favorite cruise line. Favorite cruise lines for different things and different people, yes. But my favorite cabin, normally I'm an inside cabin girl. Normally. Will you pop into the pub? I don't think I'll have time to go to the pub. But that would be nice. Jamie says restless leg. Oh, restless everything. Restless everything. Oh, Amy says, I'm American and I love your accent. I watch your videos when I have a migraine because your voice and videos are so soothing. Thank you so much. I get a lot of comments that say that I cause migraines and I'm very annoying and I talk too fast and there's voices, so that's nice. That is nice to know. That is good. Grace says, do you have a skincare routine? Your skin is glowing. Do you want to know honestly what it is? It is good lighting, drinking a lot of water, and also StreamYard edits my appearance. So please don't think that this is my skin. It's just, look how shiny my head is. But yeah, I drink these all the time. I drink a lot of water. Or maybe it's the right combination of cookies, Pepsi Max. I don't know. But yeah, don't get fooled by the internet. Don't get fooled by the internet. Royal Caribbean blog, Matt's in here. Thank you so much. He says, can we start the live stream video over again? No, Matt, we can't, but I do miss you. So I will talk to you after this live stream. When are you going to review Silversea? Oh, that's not on my to-do list at the minute. It'd be very, very cool. I would like to do that for sure. Definitely, definitely. Your voice is lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you. Emma bathes in Pepsi Max to keep her skin glowing. Yes. Perhaps that is it. Perhaps that is it. What was your take on Celebrity's Infinite Veranda? So I think some people would like it. For me, I would prefer a traditional balcony. I have a full video about it if you want to see what it is, because we are nearly at the end of this live stream. So if you have any quick questions, please let me know and I'll do my best to answer them. Keep them short as possible. I do my best to never stop talking on these live streams. You may have noticed, but that also means I'm reading, like I'm reading about Pepsi Max while I'm talking. Have you tried the new mango Pepsi Max? I have. We had some, but they ran out yesterday, which is okay. I had one yesterday. They're good. It's a standard South English accent. Yeah, I think so. I think I have a pretty, nothing too weird about my accent. Don't think so. You should make a shirt for the sail away party. That's a good idea. I like that. That's a good idea. Thank you. These become like focus groups. Everything I've ever created, I think, on the internet has come from you asking questions and you suggesting things. So I appreciate it. Every time I get a question, I try and answer them in this live stream as good as I can. Obviously, we're live, so I can't dedicate like an hour to a question. So I sometimes make posts on my website about it. If you're wanting sort of information, more sort of factual information, then my website is where that stuff is. On YouTube, it's more my personal kind of stories. So yeah. How are you handling fame? Mostly all right, I think. The thing is I never started this with any plan to become a cruise YouTuber or for fame, or it's not. I just want to blend into the background most of the time. But I think I'm doing all right with some limited cruise fame, I guess. Coke is better than Pepsi. War. No. And now you made me say it. Matt says, what did you have for dinner and why was it Nando's? I wish it was Nando's. It wasn't Nando's. I haven't had it yet. This is late for me. Normally I eat at like 5 p.m., but I'm waiting until 6 for the live stream. Pepsi? Yes. Coke? Pepsi for life. What is the best thing on Silhouette? Oh, I haven't been on Silhouette for a long time. I think it's that, I don't know what it's called, but like the really big observation lounge at the top, because they have the chairs, the sort of reclining chairs that everyone falls asleep in. I think that was my favorite. I also like the weird little, it was near my cabin. It was like I don't know how to describe it. There's like a weird garden area with these egg chairs. If you've been on Silhouette, you'll know what that is. Dr. Pepper is the best. No, definitely not. Team Coke? No, definitely not. But yes, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me for this live stream. I will be here next week. I was just thinking because my walk is on Saturday, so I'm going to be heading off on Friday, but that's okay. I'll do the live stream and then I will head off. So I try and keep these the same time whenever I can. Every single live stream I've ever done since 4 or 5 years ago is on my channel. If you want to laugh, go back and watch some of the earlier ones. But I'll be here 5 p.m. UK time, which is 12 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate it. Yes. Holly says, hope you stocked up on Pepsi Max. Of course I did. Of course I did. Yes. Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you, everybody who's in the chat. It's so nice to see you all. I will see you soon. Bye. By the way, donation link in the thingy. Pretty please. Bye.